Alrighty, ladies and gents, welcome to a video. This one we are talking about Devon Larratt and Sandris Sedis. They are set to clash at Arm Wars on February 4, which is coming up very, very soon. And it's an interesting match for a lot of reasons. So we're going to drill down into it a touch and try to work out how this one's going to go. Of course, Devon Larratt, in most people's eyes, is going to be the favorite coming into this match, but Sandris is in a rich vein of form. If we look at the way he defeated Matt Mask in his most recent outing, it's nothing short of spectacular. So you have to genuinely say he's in with a shot. But of course, Devon Larratt, I mean, he's the man. He's the mop-up crew, the clean-up crew for Matt Mask, avenging his losses left, right, and center. He has kind of called out Sandris on this one, albeit not so publicly. Under the surface, this was in fact a match that Devon always wanted. I know that because I sat down and had breakfast with him when I was last in Istanbul after his victory over Evgeny Prudnik. And interestingly, he said to me at that time, he's like, yeah, I think I want Sandris. Sandris is hot stuff right now, and I think that's a good match. This match is going to take place under the Arm Wars banner. That in itself is quite interesting because Arm Wars is an environment that allows for all of the shenanigans that Devon Larratt likes to get up to. Neil, pick up the man behind it. We know he loves the storylines. We know he loves to get as much richness and depth into each match, and Devon brings that. Now, Devon, of course, his career was somewhat started in the Arm Wars scene, but Sandris, he's pretty damn familiar with it as well. He spent a lot of time over the last year or two competing under the Arm Wars banner, so he will be quite comfortable in that setting as well. Now, when it comes down to it, Devon Larratt, as we said, he's the favorite for this match. I think it's fair to say that he, after his victory over Evgeny Prudnik, has demonstrated that he's at that level. We don't yet know where Sandris is at. He's on a tear. He's beating a lot of high-level names and doing them very comfortably. He's the WAF World Champion, and he has declared that he wants Devon as well. So when this match actually happens, it's going to come down to, I think, one major factor. It's that shenanigans factor that Devon brings. It's that how much fatigue can he put into Sandris during those early negotiations. If we look at the fundamental strength of Sandris Sedis, you'd have to say he's got better back pressure than Devon. The rising pressure, the arm-based power, just visibly, and you can see the way he arm wrestles, he has a better strength there than Devon. What Devon possesses is that gnarly sort of twisting pressure, that rise and roll, as he likes to call it. That's his all in. Now that has served him very well, with the exception of against Levan Saginashvili. Devon has been able to get stops on all of his opponents and then strangle the life out of them. Let's be clear, for this match, it's going to be pressure on Sandris to get the pin early. The longer the match goes, obviously the more it favors Devon. One thing that Sandris has on his side is the fact that he has a press. Not only is Sandris a very complete top roller, he has a great inside game as well, whether it's hook, press, whatever, we know he can finish. Now that is a really big factor, because if we look at the King's move that Devon is likely to employ in some way, shape or form, we know that historically, to defeat that requires a solid press. Not many people have been able to force Devon inside and press him in a traditional press. It's usually comes in the form of a flop press that finally gets the victory. Of course, the risk of the flop press is the accumulated fatigue that builds up over the rounds. Now, Arm Wars, a 6-round match, is going to accumulate a lot of fatigue. This is where Devon will thrive. Devon loves the shenanigans. He loves the talk. He loves extending out these matches. And 6 rounds is a long, long time. For Sandris, he's going to need to remain ice cold, very focused, very driven, and very much on point with what's going on. If he allows it to become crazy, it's unlikely to go his way. But Devon's not just out of the woods when it comes to the long game as well. And that is because of the diversity in which Sandris can pull. I believe at the end of the day, like most of us, Devon should win this. He goes into the match as the favorite. But I do believe that Sandris has a legitimate shot. What will be the telling sign in my opinion, as to whether the match will go Devon's or Sandris is going to come down to who is talking the most. If you see the match unfold in the early rounds and Devon is quiet, if Devon is quiet and Devon is focused and Devon is thinking, then you know Sandris genuinely is a threat and he genuinely has Devon scared. If Devon's talking, if Devon's playing the game, if Devon is seemingly happy, then it's over. As soon as you see Devon happy, it's over. He knows very early in a match whether he's got it or not. Sandris isn't going to know for sure whether he's got this round or the match locked up. Even if he's dominant in the early rounds, it's going to take him all the way up until round 4, getting that 4th victory for him to actually know, because he is always fighting that battle of, will I fatigue or will I have enough fuel to get me to the finish line? Devon Larratt, however, if he gets his nose in front in the early rounds, even slightly, you'll see him come to life because he knows he has the long game wrapped up. That's how I see it. Devon Larratt Sandris Sedis, 4th of February on Arm Wars. It's going to be spectacular. Don't miss it.